welcome to another interesting episode of You and I, Iwo Atiemi. This is where we are next, the benchmarks in the state of harmony, Kwara State. My name is Florence Olayinka, and of course, on this episode of You and I today, Atutigbe Ògbóǹtarìgì olóṣèlú mìíràn wá sí orí ètò lónìí láti tún gbọ́ wìrìwìrì ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu wọn bá ti ṣe máa ń ṣe ní gbogbo ìgbà tá bá ti wá sí ojú ìran yín. Lónìí kò tún ní yàtọ̀ sí bá ṣe jọ máa ń ṣe ní gbogbo ìgbà. Today we have a politician par excellence in the house. He goes by the name Yunusa Usman Lade, convener Kwara Progressive Media Organization, KPMO. He's also a member of the APC Kwara State Campaign Council. And of course, he's here to harness every single doubt in our heart, every single question that we have been looking forward to ask. So what are we going to be looking into today? The aftermath of the election. Elections have come and gone. The preparation, campaign, every single thing have gone. So we are here today to look into the successes that we had, and of course the challenges, the issues that we faced during that time. So to our guest on the show today,
Thank you, good evening and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. So looking at the past election compared to, let me say, elections we had in the, let's say, 16 years ago, can we say that there is any difference, or let me say something that was more transparent, any form of transparency compared to àwọn ètò ìdìbò tá ti ní kó tó di àsìkò yìí?
Thank you for that wonderful question. And then before I properly attend to the question you have just asked, I would like to commend President Muhammadu Buhari for overseeing the most credible, transparent, and successful election in the history of Nigeria. It is only somebody who is not interested in democracy or for development of this country that will tell you it is not the best election we have had so far in the history of Nigeria. And looking at the trajectory of the election we have had since 1999 to date, the first election in 1999 that produced President Olusegun Obasanjo can be fairly assessed as partially transparent and credible.
Okay.
Because people were eager to come back to democratic government as against the military. So people were interested, they were eager to just adopt and embrace the democracy.
Crazy. And
if you look at it in 2003, the election was massively rigged. The same thing in 2007. In 2003 and 2007, even if you look at the internet today, you will not find the data of the election because there were no results. People were, the electoral chairman of then, what was his name? Something Professor Morris was the INEC chairman then. So they only announced results based on the instruction given to them, probably by the president, then Obasanjo. Even the election that produced Umar Musa Yar'Adua of blessed memory, he came out to tell Nigerians that the election was rigged for him to become the president. And he also apologized. That tells you the amount of flaw that we experienced in that election. So fast forward to 2015, the only saving grace for the majority of Nigerians was that it was the introduction of the card reader. Because when you look at it, President Muhammadu Buhari contested in 2003, he lost. 2007, he lost. 2011, he lost. And there were reports of massive rigging in these three elections. But in 2015, with the advent of card reader, to an extent, it reduced the malpractice that has always been
a trend,
the normal trend in the election. So from 2015 to 2019, we had another improvement in terms of technologies. Then in between 2019 and 2023, there were by-elections, gubernatorial elections like Ekiti, Osun, Imo, and Beavers was introduced in these elections. So in Ekiti, PDP won. APC won in Ekiti. In Osun, APC lost, PDP won. So between the APC and the PDP, the outcome of the election was fairly accepted because it favors APC in Ekiti with the advent of Beavers.
Mm-hmm.
It also favored
PDP in Osun
with the advent of Beavers. And both states were in the southwest region. So there were no, the controversy around the election was not much. So it is that same technology that was used in the just concluded general election. So I can tell you categorically that there have been a lot of improvement and transparency, credibility when it comes to electionary in Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much for that. Now, you mentioned the issue of rigging elections so far. Coming to the election that held in Kwara State, the state of harmony that we are, was there any issue of an attempt to rig the election as portrayed? Because it came to our hearing by opposition parties that there was an attempt to rig the election, or even the election was even rigged in some ways. How true is this a claim? How true can you say?
I would say it is a laughable accusation, because in the history of Nigeria, I can tell you from the outcome of this election, there is no state in Nigeria that witnessed a peaceful election, conduct of election as Kwara State. There was no report of violence, ballot box snatching, attempt to rig election, vote buying, none anywhere from all parties. Except if the PDP were going to tell us maybe Kwara State has been created in another state elsewhere. But as long as it is, as far as I know, and to the public knowledge, Kwara State witnessed the most peaceful election in Nigeria in the last general election. All
right, thank you very much. So that's to clear any doubt in the hearts of people who still think that the election was rigged in one way or the other. Àti gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ láti ẹnu aṣojú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC nípínlẹ̀ Kwara pé kò sí nǹkan kan tó jọmọ́ wípé ṣe ni wọ́n ṣe mọ̀kàrúrú nínú ètò ìdìbò tó kọjá ẹ̀. Now let's go into, it's obvious that in the state of harmony, the administration of Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak has been doing so well in the payment of salaries and pensions for pensioners dutifully, and let me say promptly and fully, so to say. Now, compared to the former administration that introduced the Gerigedi structure of payment of salary, they said that the Kwara state government, the present administration of Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, is doing nothing different. That it only looked like it is different because it came at a time that the recession in Nigeria has, let me say, subsided, and of course they are now enjoying the luxury of funds from the government and all. Nǹkan tó ṣe jẹ́ kó dàbí pé ó rọrùn fún wọn láti san owó àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ lódìdí nìyẹn, pé kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n ń ṣe nǹkan kan pàtàkì tó bẹ́ẹ̀ kí lẹ rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí aṣojú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC nípínlẹ̀ Kwara?
I think the oppositions are just trying to be clever by half, because all what they have said is far from the truth. And in reality, if we are not going to be talking about this administration if we don't go back the memory lane.
Okay.
Because in 2019, Kwarans come together to say Otoge, which literally means enough is enough.
Benny.
And there are underlying issues underneath this Otoge to get the salary, Otoge to marginalization, especially for somebody like me who is from Kwara North. There was a lot of infrastructural deficit in Kwara North, and it is evident even if you go there today. Enough of Otoge to lack of infrastructure, Otoge to zero payment of pensioners, salaries and arrears. A lot of things were not working in the state before the advent of this administration. And upon assuming office, okay, now let me go back to your question. Don't let me deviate. Okay. They said it is because of
the availability of funds now compared to their time where there was recession in the country and in fact all over the world.
I am glad we are all Nigerians and we are all in the States when this administration came on board. Immediate post 2019 election, Nigeria was in a recession. So if they are going to be telling us Nigeria has this administration has been enjoying funds under the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari between 2019 and now, I can tell you it is false, because there was recession in 2019 immediately after the election. So which means the revenue dropped, and also the allocation from the federal government dropped. After 2019 to 2020, there was COVID. Economy was shut down totally for almost a year.
All over the world as well.
And certain levels of civil servants were asked to stay at home for almost 2 years. Even after the lockdown was eased off, people were still staying at home. They were working from home. And they were getting their salary as and when due. Pensioners were getting their pension. People who are meant to get their gratuities were getting them. So how come are they now telling us that they were doing badly when there was no COVID?
That's the question we are also asking.
When Nigeria was not in recession. So they are just trying to be clever by half. And it is, let me say, they are shameless, because if they have any iota of shame, kò tí ẹ kọ́ máa sọ pé government yìí ṣe nǹkan tí àwọn ò rí ṣe. We have witnessed more infrastructure developments in less than 4 years of this administration compared to 16 years of the PDP. It is evident. And another yardstick to consider is the post office bridge that was built.
Ẹ má jẹ́ ká tí máa lọ gbogbo àwọn yẹn, ẹ sì jẹ́ ká dúró pẹ̀lú owó oṣù àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ nípa ètò gẹ́rígẹ́dì tí ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP gbé wá, torí ìdáhùn tẹ́ fẹ́ máa lọ fún mi yẹn ó ti fẹ́ máa wọnú ìbéèrè mi.
So just to be clear that a lot of things have been done under this administration, and despite that, government ti ń gbìyànjú àti máa sanwó oṣù àti ní promotion tá a past administration ṣe tí wọ́n implement in terms of cash backing. This government has done it. They've done another promotion for some of the civil servants. Wọ́n ṣe recruitment of superb and Tescom workers. One of the most transparent and credible recruitment exercise ever done by any state government in Nigeria. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ wọ́n sọ pé okay, eléyìí ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ wa ni, eléyìí kìí ṣe ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ wa. There was a level báwo ṣe máa ń sọ
equality.
How do I even put it? Kò sí pé aṣojú kò sí pé ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ wa lélẹ̀, eléyìí kìí ṣe ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ wa. So kò sí yẹn, àwọn èèyàn ní level wọ́n fún wọn ní equal treatment. Either you are from APC, you are from YPP, you are from PDP, or even if you are not from Kwara, àwọn èèyàn ní access láti apply, then they were recruited based on their capacity at various interview level. So lọ́ fi gba àwọn èèyàn wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ wọ́n fún gbogbo wọn. But this same PDP are now telling us they could not pay salary during their time, even despite they got bailout funds from President Buhari when he came on board in 2015. How did they manage it? Several ecological fund was given to them. It was mismanaged. So the same people are now telling us that torí pé federal government in favor APC government, ti Governor Abdulrazak lọ́fin rówó oṣù san. The same people poorly constructed Zongo UITH Okesu road. Wọ́n dẹ̀ gba billions of naira fún. The road has been rehabilitated in less than 4 years by FEMA about 2 times. So what are we now talking about? So tá bá fẹ́ ṣe dáadáa gan ni kò yẹ kí PDP kò yẹ kó sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ contest for election on Kwara.
Yẹn pé lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà wọ́n fún oníkálukú ní ẹ̀tọ́. We have the right to vote and be voted for. So a lè sọ wípé kẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú kan.
I'm just saying, but if possible.
No, I'm just saying
the level of atrocities they've committed, no.
Wọ́n fẹ́ ẹ̀mọ́ oníkálukú wọn ní téèyàn bá ti ṣe dáadáa èèyàn tún máa ń wá ọ̀nà láti ṣe dáadáa ń bẹ̀. So wọ́n ti wò pé bóyá ọ̀nà tá a ti ṣe dáadáa ni ọ̀nà tá a fẹ́ mú tá a fẹ́ jẹ́ kó dára òun lélẹ̀ iná fífi tó fẹ́ padà pé tọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká wá ṣe pé ìgbà tí wọ́n dé wọ́n gbé slogan Oṣùwà wọ́n gbé dé, ṣùgbọ́n lásìkò yìí ìgbà yẹn gómìnà Abdulrahman Abdulrazak wọ́n ti fún ní táàgì ìjọba mẹ̀kúnnù. gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn ènìyàn ṣe ń sọ káàkiri ìgboro pé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara ìjọba mẹ̀kúnnù ni. Ká wá wo bí eléyìí ṣe jáde pẹ̀lú bí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú alátakò tún gbé jáde káàkiri wípé a lè rí iṣẹ́ àkànṣe kan ní pàtó tí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara ṣe. Wọ́n ní tí wọ́n tiẹ̀ ṣe gan wọ́n ṣe láṣepatì ní àárín ọdún 4 tí wọ́n ti wà lórí àpèrè ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara pé wọn ò ríṣẹ́ kankan ní pàtó ṣe pé gbogbo project àti gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó jẹ́ iṣẹ́ àkànṣe tó yẹ kán ṣe pé wọ́n rí kankan ṣe pé èyí tí wọ́n tiẹ̀ sọ pé ó dáa káwọn tiẹ̀ ṣe díẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ pé ṣe ni wọ́n tún ṣe láṣepatì. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí aṣojú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC nípínlẹ̀ Kwara, ǹjẹ́ ilé bá wa tàn ìmọ́lẹ̀ sí àwọn iṣẹ́ àkànṣe ní oríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà káàkiri tí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara tí wọ́n ti rí gbé ṣe ní àárín ọdún 4 tí wọ́n ti wà gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara, ká tó má sọ wípé wọ́n tún ṣe wá padà wá báyìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà tí a tún dìbò yàn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara.
So I would like to attempt your question in phases. Tí a bá wò látẹ̀yìnwá, àwọn yẹn ní ó tó gẹ́. Ìgbà tó gọ́fìnà Abdulrahman Abdulrazak wọlé tán, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú mantra tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ yá. During that iṣẹ́ yá for about 3 months, ó ń lọ káàkiri láti máa wo state of decay tó ti wà gbogbo different aspect of governance in the state. Màá ní pé gbà yẹn á lọ sí fire service, revenue, our ministries, on pay on schedule visits just for him to know pé okay nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ níbi àlele kò jókòó sọ́fíìsì pé káwọn máa fún report. So after that several visits ó wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ ń lọ iṣẹ́ yá náà ṣì ni. So gbà yẹn lọ yan commissioner, wọ́n rehabilitate fire service, ó procure new motor fún wọn cause wọn ní functional wọn nígbà yẹn. College of Education Technical láfíà yìí wọ́n fẹ́ shut it down nígbà because wọ́n wà accredited. Èló dẹ̀ ní accreditation fee wọn, it was less than 20 million naira. So government is somewhere. Nǹkan tó fi mọ gbélé ni pé ó lọ síbẹ̀ fún rẹ̀. Ìgbà yẹn náà ló sanwó àwọn lecturers tó jẹ lówó ní technical school College of Education láfíà yìí. Ó sanwó tó jẹun for about 6 months. Ó lọ Kwara Poly náà ó lọ gbogbo just like that. Àwọn magistrate court nígbà yẹn tí wọ́n sí ní good condition wọ́n rehabilitate gbogbo ẹ̀. Our primary health care centers tó tún ṣe ń gbà was about 27 across the state. Magistrate court kan wà ní Zango, ìgbà náà lọ ṣe. These are some of the things tí wọ́n ṣe ní after ìgbà tó wọ government less than 1 year. Then iṣẹ́ ń lọ, ìgbà tí iṣẹ́ fi ń lọ la fi tó introduce Kwasip. Kwasip was actually his brainchild. Wọ́n initiate ẹni as bill, wọ́n send ẹ̀ sí house tó fi di pé ó di bill tó yẹn pé wọ́n fi máa cater for the vulnerable.
Ǹjẹ́ lè bá wa sọ ìtumọ̀ Kwasip yìí fún àwọn tó ń wò wá nílé?
Kwara State Social Investment Program òun ni Kwasip. So agency ìjọba yìí ni wọ́n ṣe agbátẹrù owó ṣòwò, owó arúgbó, digital Kwara, Kwarapreneur àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Nǹkan tó dẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé tẹ́ bá wo President Buhari wọ́n ṣe ní 2015 nígbà tó náà débẹ̀ tí ẹ̀ ní NCIP under ní empower wà trader money bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. So nǹkan tí Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak fi wá yàtọ̀ sí ti President Buhari ni pé òun sọ di bill, òun institutionalize ẹ̀ so that tí ẹni ìjọba mi bá tẹ̀ tó wá wọn ní lè fọwọ́ rọ̀ dànù sẹ́yìn unlike ti President Muhammadu Buhari. So these are some of the difference tí ó gbé wá. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ wò tẹ́lẹ̀ àwọn section kan nílọrin ni àwọn ìjọba tẹ́lẹ̀ máa ń kétà fún nílé arúgbó. Àwọn arúgbó ló máa ń kó lọ́bẹ̀, which is actually a slap on the people of Kwara because kò sí nǹkan tó bójúmu pé àwọn ìyá àgbàlagbà, àwọn ìyá tó jẹ́ bíi grandmother wa tẹ́ kọ́ wà nílé kọ́ máa jóúnjẹ ọmọ. Èèyàn kan níbi kan wá ní kọ́ máa rìn wá láti òkè kéré ìtakúdímọ́, wọ́n máa rìn wá nílé NGR láti máa gba pọ̀pọ̀fà àti wàsó. Kò bójúmu. So nǹkan tí ṣẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ́ pé wọ́n ti bà state jẹ́ to the extent pé gbogbo nǹkan táwọn ti tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ ń ṣe kò possible kí Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak kọ́ gbálẹ̀ kan náà. Ó kọ̀ dàgbà tí wọ́n máa ń breastfeed ọmọ ekere díẹ̀. So torí ẹ̀ lọ ṣe ń pariwo pé ó sú àwọn. Nǹkan tó sún wọn ni pé ẹ̀bà àti wàsó táwọn few people máa ń jẹ́ níbì kan yẹn ó gbà kò sí yẹn mọ́. So now people now have this sense of belonging, irrespective of where you are living. Àwọn tó wà ní Kwara South, Kwara North, Kwara Central, wọ́n ní this sense of belonging pé owó arúgbó ó ń dọ́dọ̀ wọn, owó ṣòwò ó ń dọ́dọ̀ wọn, wọ́n kò lọ bá wọn níbi tó wà ní. So tẹ́lẹ̀ yẹn àwọn kan wà ní pátìgì, wọ́n máa ń gbà wọ́n kàn máa ń gbọ́ pé ilé arúgbó wà níbì kan. Kò possible fẹ́ tó ń gbé ní Káyàmá kó a lóun fẹ́ máa gba ẹ̀bà tí wàá sọ pẹ̀lú 500 naira nílọrin. Kò possible.
Kẹ́ tó tẹ̀síwájú nínú ìdáhùn yín, ẹ dárúkọ pé wọ́n ti gbé àwọn ètò yẹn súnmọ́ wọn. Ṣé gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ, ṣé ẹ̀bà àti wàsó tẹ̀ ń sọ yìí náà ni wọ́n sì ń fún wọn níbi tí wọ́n gbé ibi àwọn ètò tí wọ́n gbé súnmọ́ wọn yẹn ni, àbí nǹkan tí wọ́n fún wọn tún ti yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan tí àwọn ṣebí? Torí nínú ọ̀rọ̀ yín ó dàbí pé ẹ̀bà àti wàsó yẹn ni àwọn ìjọba tó kó gbá wọlé ni wọ́n fún wọn.
No, ti àwọn tí mo sọ ti pé tàwọn opposition.
Òun náà ni mò ń sọ, àwọn opposition party nǹkan tí wọ́n máa ń fún àwọn arúgbó wa nìyẹn.
Yes, wọ́n glorify poverty.
So to say.
In a bad way. But when this government came on board,
okay,
they tried to put a stop to it.
Okay, so
by creating a new idea.
So idea wo wá ní
that will be acceptable to the people, which means
idea wo wá ní ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara ti gbé súnmọ́ àwọn arúgbó àti àwọn tó jẹ́ àgbàlagbà ní ìsìn.
Mo ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀, òun ni under Kwasip.
Okay.
A ní different category of programs.
Kí ni category àwọn ẹni tí à ń sọ yìí?
So èyí tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ti àwọn arúgbó yẹn, òun ni owó arúgbó.
Okay.
Mo ti dárúkọ ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀.
Okay.
Kwasip yẹn ní àwọn agents tó máa ń lọ káàkiri gbogbo local government. Wọn fọ ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ tó wà, but as long as you have attained that old age tí ò lè ṣiṣẹ́ mọ́, wọ́n máa ṣe data capturing fún yín, wọ́n máa gborúkọ yín, wọ́n á gba account number yín, wọ́n á dẹ̀ wọ́n ní gbogbo data wọn, so wọ́n dẹ̀ fún ọ lówó yẹn every month. Unlike tẹ́lẹ̀ pé àwọn few people, less than maybe 500 people
ni wọ́n rí ẹ̀tọ́ sí.
nọ́kàn rẹ̀tọ̀ sí ìyẹn ò tún á ṣe bí uncoordinated approach làwọn lò.
Wọ́n tún fi ṣe.
But this, it is the normal standard even in foreign countries. If you go to the UK, the US, check on social media, they also provide funds for vulnerable people in the society. And this is what the government is doing by institutionalizing Kwasip as one of the components of reaching out to the vulnerable in the society.
Ẹ ṣeun adúpẹ́, ẹ ti ka ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan sílẹ̀, kódà mo ti kọ̀wé ìwé ti kún. Ẹ ṣeun adúpẹ́. Látàrí ìdáhùn tí ta gbé wá sórí ètò lónìí, tí wọ́n ti fi fún wa báyìí, èyí ti fi hàn, ó ti fojú hàn gbangba pé iṣẹ́ ń lọ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara, iṣẹ́ ń lọ, iṣẹ́ ò dúró. Gómìnà Abdulrahman Abdulrazak sì ti ṣe iṣẹ́ ribiribi ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara, yàtọ̀ sí àwọn awuyewuye tó ń lọ káàkiri nígboro láti ẹnu àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú alátakò wípé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara àbí gómìnà Abdulrahman Abdulrazak wà nípínlẹ̀ Kwara pé wọ́n ṣe nǹkan kan rárá. Òun lẹ ti gbọ́ lẹ́nu aṣojú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC nípínlẹ̀ Kwara yìí. Ẹ ṣeun adúpẹ́. Ká tó wá máa lọ lórí ètò fún ti òwúrọ̀ tòní, ká tó máa lọ lórí ètò fún ti òní. After the governorship election, we had so many things that happened. What are the things that you think went wrong, and how do you think we can address those issues that came up? Of course, even if Tenyobate was successful, especially when it comes to elections like this, kò tí sí náà èèyàn tún máa ń pè tó bá tún dìgbà mi ó tún yẹ kí n tún lè ṣe dáadáa jù báyìí lọ. What are the things that you think went wrong, and what are the things you think that we should put in place based on those issues or challenges that came up, sir?
Okay. Quickly, I would like to take us back a bit, because our question called the down there until now.
Okay.
You asked about what are some of the infrastructures the government
to put in place.
Yes. I'll start with Ilorin Garment Factory.
Okay.
Want to parier, and it has the capacity to employ over 2,000 people. Recruitment is currently ongoing. One day online actually apply. So that's for that. Then Atuni on Osi Obuayogunle Road, Governorship Commission few weeks back. It's about 11.8 kilometer road. kò sí ọ̀nà kankan bẹ́ẹ̀. It is the first asphalt road in the community, and it has been abandoned for over 40 years. And that's for that. Then there are a lot of road projects too in Offa. About Ade Soye Road, Lofa, Offa Township Road. So on a total Lofa alone is over more than 10 in Offa. But yes, I've been there and I saw some of these roads. They are over 10. In my own community, the first 3 asphalt road Tamani in the history of that community under administration on the Tikpari. Tabatu the University Road currently tanker flyover on Shilo. Our main answer pé tanker flyover and people need, but if you look at the quantum of people staying along that axis, it's overdue for expansion. Expansion then torí ẹni wọ́n ṣe gbé tanker flyover lọ síbẹ̀ because there are over 50,000 people
ní agbègbè yẹn nìkan
tó wà ní members of the university community.
Okay.
Táwọn kan gbé lókè odò
àwọn tó jẹ́ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́.
So wọ́n pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Then tẹ́lẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n wò tẹ́ bá ti dé tipa garage yẹn àmì máa ń lo 2-3 hours kó tó di pẹ́kọ̀ cross that roundabout.
The other side.
So torí ẹni government ṣe wọ́n pé kí láti lè ṣe tí bẹ́ẹ̀ òfin ní máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ lọ́ fi introduce ẹ̀. Then tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ wo that same axis náà àwọn iná road kọ̀ọ̀kan wọ́n ti ṣe ìjẹta lọ complete òkè odò ring road wọ́n ṣe complete ìjẹta ni. Over Commerce Road náà is one of the alternative routes on that axis. It has also been completed. We also have ICU in General Hospital Ilorin. Wọ́n ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ ní any intensive care unit in any of our general hospitals before in Kwara under administration. Oxygen plants ní Kwara not until ọlọ́run ní kí governor tètè fi àkíyèsí sí before COVID àbáwá in mess. Sobi Specialist Hospital has also been upgraded. Ilesha Gwanara Road iṣẹ́ tí ń lọ lórí ẹ̀ about 80% completion at the moment. Then we also have all the annexes of the Kwara State University campuses across the state. Wọ́n ti fẹ́ parí àwọn náà, the OC campus and the Institute of Agriculture tó wà ní Ilesha Gwanara ìyẹn náà ti ń lọ. Then in Patigi we have the Township Road. In Lafiagi we have the Emirs Road and other road. Lafiagi General Hospital wọ́n ti upgrade òun náà. Tẹ́lẹ̀ it is no go area ni. It has also been upgraded. We also have tẹ́bádẹ́nu Ìlọrin ṣe máa ń pẹ́ àwọn àdúgbò kan wà tó expect development. Interlocks tí wọ́n à ń gbogbo bẹ̀ ẹ máa rí àwọn mẹ́tọ̀ tí ń ṣe irú ìpàtà Sheikh Buhari ọmọ Musa ó sọ ńgbà kan pé òun mọ̀ pé èèyàn lè gba inú pàtà jáde síbi kan. That was less than a year of this administration. Ó ní under administration ló ń ṣe mọ̀ pé ọ̀nà gbanú pàtà kọjá because governor ṣe ń gbà yẹn. So there are places like that tẹ́ẹ̀ ní expecting pé ọ̀nà lè gbàbẹ̀ government ti gbé ọ̀nà gbàbẹ̀ kọjá. So ó pọ̀ tí n bá ní kí n máa sọ lọ.
Ní kúrò lórí ètò lónìí ẹ ṣeun adúpẹ́. So padà sí ìbéèrè tí mo béèrè lórí ètò ìdìbò tá a ti parí ká máa káàdì ètò ní díẹ̀díẹ̀ pé kí ni àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ rò pé went wrong nínú ètò ìdìbò tó kọjá and what are the things you think we should do better as a government in Kwara State?
And I believe kò sí government tí kùdìẹ̀kùdìẹ̀ ò ní sí. Kò sí èèyàn tó perfect, Ọlọ́run nìkan ló perfect. And looking at it from the party angle, the APC, we need to focus more on building bridges, synergizing the members of the party together, because if you look at the post-2019 election, a lot of cracks were in APC. Even telling me, governor will be well but towards the election, everybody put down, she governor shook me, while everybody she want collapse structure. So these are some of the things that has been going on the ground, because governor is not the type that talks. So he believes in action. And most of his things, that is what he does. And we have seen the results even at the just concluded election. So
all right.
A lot of things are being considered, and just like I said earlier, no government is perfect. So we'll continue to
get better
as time goes on.
All right. We would see that the present administration are involved in bringing youths into the administrative structure of the state. How do you think the youths of the state of Harmony can, get much more involved, or let me say, harness the available resources or available opportunities in the state of Harmony based on the kind of administration or the kind of government that we have presently?
I think it is not just about the youth alone. Even the women are now shifting the men out of the political space in Kwara now. In fact, to the extent that governor sent an executive bill to the house to give to stop gender imbalance when it comes to formulating of appointments and orders for the gender equity to be well balanced, and he has done that. And for the youth, I can tell you, probably as PA, somebody like me, I will not be here talking maybe on behalf of APC.
To represent the party.
So this is the narrative that this government has created under his administration. Somebody like you two is the youngest House of Assembly member in Nigeria today, and even in West Africa by extension. So
yes.
It is courtesy of this administration, and these are some of the things he has done. If you continue to count, there are a lot of youths in this administration occupying sensitive position. We currently have the youngest commissioner in Nigeria, in person of Honorable Sadiq Buhari. Is the commissioner, the currently serving commissioner for communication in the states, is the youngest in Nigeria. We have, we also have the youngest female commissioner before. She served for about 2 years, Joanna Akolo, one of the youngest female commissioner in Nigeria. She got appointed 3 months after her NYSC.
Yes.
So that tells you the belief the governor has in the youth.
In mind.
Yes. One of the most important, one of the agency of government doing well in the state, the Kwasi, is being headed by a young person too, in person of Honorable Kowi Olodulu, and is doing well. Previously, it was Honorable Mo Brima, one of the youngest progressive in the state too. So if you look at it, there are so many young youths occupying important positions. The Speaker of Kwara State House of Assembly is one of the youngest speaker in Nigeria. He's just about 41 years. When he became the speaker, he was 37 years old. So you can see there is a level playing ground for Kwara youth, and this is why we want even the youth who are in the opposition party to start coming to APC, because there is opportunity in this party as under the leadership of Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak compared to the people on the other side. Before, the youth are just better for being used as PAs, messengers, but now our youth don't joke with the council chamber. They are the ones making decisions in the state.
Of course. Thank you very much for that. And this is where we will say thank you for joining us on today's episode of You and I, You&i. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe máa ń sọ wípé ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara tí a wà yìí, ìwọ àti èmi náà lájọ máa ṣe tó fi máa dára. Ẹ wò, èmi àti yín náà lájọ máa ṣe tó fi máa dùn, tó fi máa lóyin, tí gbọ̀ngbọ̀n fi máa kàn sí. Orúkọ tèmi ò yí padà, Florence Ọláyínká ni mò ń jẹ́. Ẹ ti máa pàdé wa lórí àkọ́tún ètò ìwọ àti èmi, You and I, where we will continue to harness the benchmarks in the state of Harmony. Keep growing, keep getting better, and of course, àwa la ó máa wá, ẹ̀yin la ó máa bá. Ó dàbọ̀.